Alright, y'all, so COVID rant. I don't know. Maybe it's number 4, 5. Nah, it's definitely more than 5. Anyhow, I told you this was gonna happen. And it's not stopping. Nope. No, you are on a whirlwind. It's gonna keep going. It's gonna get bad. This country specifically is a country that prides itself on independence and freedoms and personal liberties. And that's great. Of course, it has meant that we have a sordid history involving rebellion, revolution, destroying shit. Yeah, that's what we do. And so this country, probably more than any other country in the world, was going to feel the effects of these lockdown policies in advance. And this was my concern. This remains my concern. We're already seeing the political turmoil, and people tend to think, maybe it'll go away tomorrow. No, it's not. It's not. Because it's deep rooted. One thing you get going against you is the fact that you ain't got a vaccine or anything to treat this crap with. So COVID ain't going away, which means the policies that you've utilized for COVID aren't going away. And even when you open the economy, you're never going to get it down to zero. And even if you do, cheers to you, New Zealand. It's going to come back. It's global. You think it's just going to disappear? It's not going anywhere. It's going to disappear for a period of time because we're going to get it down low. What is that? Something in the curve. Flatten. There you go. Flatten the curve. Flatten the curve. You're not going to eliminate it. It's going to come back. So until you find a way to treat it, you're going to be in, up shit's creek. And the crazy thing about that is, guess what, y'all? You're wondering why inequality is coming out at a time when the economy is being destroyed? Look at the news. Communities of color, people who have been systemically on the lower end of that equality scale for a long time, reservations, they're all taking the biggest hit. And all of a sudden, after 12 years of fighting over, we shouldn't have universal health care. Because you didn't care about the fact that thousands of people die every year, every day, of preventable disease. You were okay with it until it could come into your home, even if you were rich, even if you had health care. Yeah, welcome to the fucking reality. That is why healthcare, universal healthcare, matters. Because the health of other people affects you, whether you like it or not. And now you're getting a taste of that. And they're getting a taste of your failure to recognize your own values. Oh, we're going to care about it universally. When I realized that insurance doesn't change the fact, or rather access to insurance or access to healthcare, doesn't change the fact that if somebody else gets an airborne illness, well, it doesn't matter how good your insurance is it? still fucked. And this is a pretty interesting disease too, because it appears as though certain groups are getting hit in certain ways. My personal opinion is that, again, we're looking at something that we're looking at ACE2 being usurped by this virus. And ACE2 plays with your endocrine system a healing, a counterbalance to ACE, which is, you know, a lung and kidney function specifically for their own best interest. And I think it appears as though it's probably triggering some kind of metabolic response that, I don't know, maybe looks like high altitude sickness, but isn't. It isn't, because your kidneys and your lungs aren't compensating for it, which is bad. And the fact that there's so many people in different groups who are all presenting with similar symptoms implies that there's a possibility that people who are already, you know, maybe predisposed to a certain ailment may be all experiencing the same outcomes. But you're never going to solve that puzzle, because you've had a significant amount of your population who don't even go see a doctor. They don't even know if they have an underlying illness. They could have something that may kill them 10 years from now, but nobody gives a shit. Because up until, I don't know, March, nobody gave a shit about the idea of our health being a collective concept. It was every man for himself. Maybe you should have made better choices. Maybe you shouldn't go out in the public. Why are we killing the economy for your benefit? Why is it that all of a sudden you want people to care about the collective good because it benefits you to think that way right now? And you're wondering why this rioting? I went to the University of Rhode Island Talent Development, which is a program out of the University of Rhode Island. I partook in it. Probably one of the best programs for disadvantaged youth in the country. Definitely in the state. And the University of Rhode Island also ran its Alton Jones campus for many years. And it was a way to get kids kind of into that natural sciences. It really is a pride and joy of Rhode Island. It brings a lot of understanding for the environment and the environmental sciences. It's a beautiful school, but a lot of what made it beautiful was its access, its community outreach, and it's losing that ability right now. You know, and it's been suggested that we call all of our politicians. Our politicians have not been listening, but the University of Rhode Island, you should listen. You're going to be losing so much support. As a university, you wouldn't be able to support yourself being solely an out-of-state provider. And if you lose those connections in-state, and those connections to those disadvantaged sectors of the state, you're going to lose a huge part of what you are and what makes you awesome. To the politicians, get it together, because you're going to see another round of this. And any approach that has the impact on the economy that this approach had, you're going to be in a lot of trouble, because this is only going to get worse. You got these riots under control this time. but they were nationwide. Do you understand the size, the magnitude of that? What next? Fires get too big, you can't put them out. So you got to find another approach. And you need to start really having a conversation about inequality in general. Does race play a role? Absolutely. If you sit there and play like it don't, get your shit together. It's math. It's not even are you right or wrong, or did God talk to you? It's math. Basic fucking math. Look at the statistics. If the only way you can explain those statistics is that they're morally corrupt and you're awesome, get over yourself. Honestly. You must be a peach at the supermarket. Get over yourself. Don't ask people to give a shit if your kids or your grandma live or die unless you're ready to have a conversation about making sure that all people have the things they need, simply because it's right, not because we've got to save them, because it's not anybody's fucking job in America to save anybody. We've made that abundantly clear. I think that is all.